and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit, little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you
Little
exactly
or
how it's
no
done.
money.
Text cash to 99,799, and I'll send you my free training. I promise I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text cash to 99,799, and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's cash to 99,799. Again, text cash to 99,799.
New Doctor Who. Ncuti Gatwa will replace Jodie Whittaker as the next lead in Doctor Who. Gatwa, who's best known for his role in Sex Education on Netflix, says he's honored, excited, and a little scared. Whittaker was the first woman to play the Doctor in 2017, but will hand the reins over to Gatwa after season 13. He'll become the 14th and first Black Doctor on the show. The sci-fi series, which follows an alien Time Lord across time and space, has millions of viewers and will celebrate its 60th anniversary next year. Monica Ricks, CBS News. A year after she broke the news on Drew's News, Drew Barrymore served as flower girl at her friend and co-anchor Ross Matthews' wedding to Dr. Wellington Garcia. It was held at an LGBTQ resort in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. People says the grooms wore matching tuxes. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Okay, that's your thing. Whatever.
Use tax dollars to kill our babies. Kay Ivey, her Alabama common sense drives Washington liberals nuts. I signed the strongest pro-life law in America. I stood with Trump to ensure no election here can ever be stolen. But that's not all. Kay Ivey threw Common Core out of our schools, banned transgender youth sports, and passed constitutional carry to protect our Second Amendment rights. Kay Ivey, the conservative governor the woke left loves to hate. America's the greatest country in the world. Joe Biden may not get that, but here in Alabama, we always will. Kay Ivey for Alabama. Paid for by Kay Ivey for Governor Inc. P.O. Box 966, Montgomery, Alabama 36101.
Keeping your property looking its best means having the right equipment to get the job done. Whether your to-do list requires mowing the lawn or maintaining a camp or farm, our team at SunSouth will help you find the equipment to meet your needs. And owning a John Deere is more affordable than ever at SunSouth with 0% financing on most models, including the 1 Series, 3 Series, and even the 5 Series. So why wait another season to do more? Come see us at SunSouth. Equipment for those that do.
Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. All expires May 31st, 2014.
Hey, I'm Jake from Long Island, and my portfolio performance honestly just wasn't cutting it. I was looking for something more. So I researched alternative investments like crypto and NFTs, but they didn't make sense to me. Then I read about Masterworks and Forbes. I did my research and invested over $55,000 with them. I know it was the smart thing to do. I tell all my family and friends about Masterworks, and now I'm telling you.
Before deciding to invest, carefully review the important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclaimer.
Want to kill bugs like the pros do? Now you can with Maggie's Farm. Created by pest control professionals, Maggie's Farm plant and mineral-based products provide amazingly effective insect control. All of our plant-based products are safe to use around children and pets and won't leave behind a messy, oily residue. Maggie's Farm. Lethal to bugs, easy on the planet. Now, for a limited time, get a free box of our patented no-spill ant kill bait stations with purchase at greenbugkiller.com. That's greenbugkiller.com.
It could be information to change your life forever. Or the Something You Should Know podcast could just be something interesting.
Monica Guzman is on a mission to depolarize America.
That animosity is called
On a mission.
Polarization based on how we feel about each other. We are actually living under more anxiety and fear than is probably justified. By the way, when we have less fear, we can solve more.
Join Mike Carruthers and guests for Something You Should Know. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial.
Ben Shapiro.
The Ben Shapiro Show, tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it. Your WSFA First Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
A beautiful weather week ahead. Temperatures are going to be in the 80s each afternoon. There's going to be plenty of sunshine each day, and overnight lows are going to be comfortable in the 50s to low 60s. The humidity stays low. A really nice week ahead. We'll start in the low 80s today, and then we'll go to the mid 80s Thursday.
Okay, so it's Monday, you know, I'm messing everybody's stuff.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler.
It's
time!
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. This Monday holds no major problems or accidents. Nothing being reported by the authorities to send you on an alternative route. You keep listening. We will keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Premier Place has it all for summer. Shop Cato Fashion, Sally Beauty, Professional Nails and Spa, America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses, and more. Premier Place in Prattville, another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Talk tires with Montgomery's #1 tire store, Chico's Auto Pros. Chico's has you covered with Chico's Auto Pros price match guarantee and 0 down options.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Monday. A controversial law is now in effect in Alabama. It's the Vulnerable Child Compassion and Protection Act, and it criminalizes the use of puberty blockers and hormones to treat transgender minors in Alabama. There is a lawsuit seeking to stop this from being enforced, but a judge has not handed down anything on that ruling just yet. It's been over a week now, and the manhunt continues for Alabama Corrections Officer Vicki White and inmate Casey White. The pair's getaway car was discovered recently in Tennessee and will soon be back in Florence as the investigation continues. The sheriff in Lauderdale County says they believe Vicki and Casey White dumped the car and picked up another vehicle. Happening today, it's the last day to register to vote to participate in Alabama's primaries. Alabama's primary election is set for May 24. I'm Jasmine Williams, and these are your morning headlines.
Katie Britt is a law and order Christian conservative running for the Senate to secure our border and protect hardworking Alabama families from violent crime. As Alabama's senator, Katie Britt will fight to finish President Trump's wall, and she'll always back the blue. Here's Shelby County Sheriff John Samaniego.
With the Biden liberals fund our police, we need a senator who'll have our back. And that's why I'm supporting Katie Britt. Katie will get tough on violent criminals and fight for stronger borders to keep illegal immigrants and deadly drugs out of Alabama. Take it from me, Katie Britt is a strong conservative who will keep your family safe.
Sure she will. She's going to come to everybody's house, make sure nobody breaks in. Yes, I believe her.
And she's ready to fight for Alabama families.
I'm Katie Britt, and I approve this message.
I believe Katie. Katie is the one.
2022 is no time for beautiful windows in your home to be all covered up with the
It
same
amazes me what
lines
these.
and shades you see in every.
It's always amazing what all these politicians are going to do
No time for cheap blinds and shades
until they get there and find out that there's nothing they really can do. But 4 years later, they'll tell us again what they got to do.
A custom look for your home to be loved.
Okay.
And timeless.
And when they don't do it, they say it's their fault we didn't get it done. Okay, I'm good. Okay.
The summer heat has set in, and it doesn't look like Alabama's cooling down anytime soon. To avoid heat illness, it's important to stay indoors. When temperatures are extreme, reduce or eliminate strenuous activities during the hottest times of the day. Protect yourself from the sun with a hat and sunscreen, and never leave pets or people in parked vehicles. This message brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health and this station.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese, the Russians don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440.
Of course they don't.
Sometimes you need to reset.
All right, Monday morning.
Focus on your day.
Time to go to work.
The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
If you wake up and the sun does not appear.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to rise and shine once again, if you can. It's another day, believe it or not, that you're on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and it's time for our Daily Bread. Our Daily Bread today, May the 9th, 2022, is the Sunflower Battle. Don't exactly know what that's about, but we're going to listen together. Our scripture insight today comes from Colossians 2, 6 through 14. Colossians 2 and 10 says, in Christ you have brought into fullness. And again, it is May the 9th, 2022 AD. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day that shall never, ever come again. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done this day that you did not do. You don't get a do-over. You can't come back and do the things that you should have done that you didn't. You don't get to summon it from the past. So whatever you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done this day. There's no doubt, like I tell you every morning, if you're here and I'm here, we've heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and much, much mercy, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Well, whatever you do, reach back when you can to help somebody else along the way. As much as you can, while you can, until you can. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I said, that is the standard by which you live life. You shall always be successful. Or you'll fail at that thing or two. We all do. But you'll never be a failure until you quit. We say, give out if you must. Rest only if you can, but you never quit. My mother used to say that nothing beats a failure but a try. Put one foot in front of the other and keep on moving. And when you run into the mountains in your life that you can't go over, you can't get under, and you can't go around, sometimes you got to go through the mountains. But remember this, even on cloudy days, the sun hasn't moved. Wait a minute. It'll change. And no matter what happens this day, remember this. It is a great day to be alive. The Sunflower Battle. That's our Daily Bread for this day, May the 9th, 2022 AD.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading titled The Sunflower Battle was written by Dave Brandon. The deer in our neighborhood and I have two different opinions about sunflowers. When I plant sunflowers each spring, I'm looking forward to the beauty of their blooms. My deer friends, however, don't care about the finished product. They simply want to chew the stems and leaves until there's nothing left. It's an annual summertime battle as I try to see the sunflowers to maturity before my four-hoofed neighbors devour them. Sometimes I win, sometimes they win. When we think about our lives as believers in Jesus, it's easy to see a similar battle being waged between us and our enemy, Satan. Our goal is continual growth, leading to spiritual maturity that helps our lives stand out for God's honor. The devil wants to devour our faith and keep us from growing. But Colossians chapter 2 assures us that Jesus has dominion over every power and can bring us to fullness, which means he makes us complete. Christ's victory on the cross allows us to stand out in the world like those beautiful sunflowers. When Jesus nailed the record of the charges against us, the penalty for our sins, to the cross, he destroyed the powers that controlled us. We became rooted and built up and made alive with Christ. In him, we have the power to resist the enemy's spiritual attacks and to flourish in Jesus, displaying a life of true beauty. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Colossians chapter 2, verses 6 through 13. So then, just as you received Christ Jesus as Lord, continue to live your lives in him, rooted and built up in him, strengthened in the faith as you were taught, and overflowing with thankfulness. See to it that no one takes you captive through hollow and deceptive philosophy, which depends on human tradition and the elemental spiritual forces of this world rather than on Christ. For in Christ, all the fullness of the deity lives in bodily form, and in Christ you have been brought to fullness. He is the head over every power and authority. In him you were also circumcised with a circumcision not performed by human hands. Your whole self ruled by the flesh was put off when you were circumcised by Christ, having been buried with him in baptism, in which you were also raised with him through your faith in the working of God, who raised him from the dead. When you were dead in your sins and in the uncircumcision of your flesh, God made you alive with Christ. He forgave us all our sins. Let's pray. Dear God, make our lives beautiful for you and your glory. Help us to resist the enemy through your power, because we just simply can't do it on our own. Thank you for Jesus' death and resurrection, our only source of hope, power, and courage. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. I'm Stephen, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Chorus. Oh, teach. Who? Airborne. Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and tough, airborne, every day, we run to the sun, no sweat,
Not yet.
down in the mess hall on my knee,
We got nothing to eat but a pan of cheese.
nothing to eat but a can of beans.
The bread was moldy and the beef was bad. You know darn well that you can't eat that.
You know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go, all the way,
gotta be rough and tough, airborne, all the way. When I was young, I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, needs enough breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight.
all the way airborne.
Come on now. Time to rise and shine. Time for PT. Come on. Airborne all the way, driving on.
Early one morning,
In the freezing rain, well, I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light read. Oh!
airborne, all the way, driving on, all the way airborne.
Time to get motivated. It's a Monday.
Here we go.
Here we go.
All the way. Gotta be
rough and tough.
Airborne.
Airborne. Now, it's the run. Now that you're wide awake, you ready to go? Here we go. Here we go.
Run a little, run some more. Run a little, run some
Oh, yeah.
more. When your left foot
Hops the ground.
when your left foot strikes the ground.
I want to hear a clapping sound.
Let me hear that clapping sound.
Oh!
All the way,
Fired up.
feeling good,
Feeling good.
Going
around.
Hollywood,
Hollywood. Looking good.
all right,
Dynamite.
everybody,
Everybody. No. Everybody. Let me hear you. In the rear.
keep it tight,
Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Let's do it.
in the front, rock steady, ready, 80 deuce,
80 do. Here we come. 80 do.
airborne,
Airborne.
feeling mean,
Lean and mean.
rough and tough,
Rough and tough.
hey you,
Hey, you.
how you feel, feeling good, all right, dynamite,
Dynamite.
out of sight,
Out of sight.
feeling good,
good.
motivated,
Dedicated.
dedicated, I wanna be airborne,
Airborne.
wanna be
Wanna be.
airborne,
Airborne. Oh, guess that was it. Short run. And now we play homage to all of our armed forces of these United States of America, people's uncles, your dads, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your husbands, your wives, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your dads, your moms, and all the people that serve this great nation in uniform. Also, let me say good morning to Montgomery Fire Department. Good morning to Montgomery Police Department. Good morning to His Honor the Mayor. What else is going on? Is that it? Okay, good morning to the police chief, Ernest Feeling. Hey, Ernest, listen. Not Ernest Feeling, excuse me. Mr. Albert, whatever his last name is. What is his last name anyway? See, I don't see him very much. Anyway, you'll catch this crime thing sooner or later. It's going to be a minute, though, because and to the Office of Violence Prevention, I don't know how good you guys are doing either. But keep up the good work, I think. Anyway, good morning, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard, and to all the people who go in when everybody else is running out. Wait a minute, I cannot forget the sanitation department because they be jumping all on my case if I do. So good morning, Montgomery Sanitation Department and Maintenance Department. Good morning to you. The United States Navy. We call them jarheads and other names too. Their motto is Semper Fidelis. But the Marines couldn't pronounce that, so they all said Semper Fi. Well, whether it's Semper Fidelis or Semper Fi, it all means the same thing. Always. Not sometimes, but always faithful. Good morning, jarheads. And last but certainly not least, home of the 82nd Airborne, 1st Cav, 2nd ID, 8th ID. That's infantry divisions. The United States Army. And don't forget the 2nd and the 75th Ranger Regiment, right up the road here at Fort Benning. All right? Good morning, those guys. Okay, and a one-on-one. Although they're not airborne anymore, but we'll cut them some slack this morning. So can somebody give me one of those new suits they got so I can wear it on Veterans Day or something? I don't have to pay for the thing. Come on now. Anyway, I like those pink suits. Anyway, good morning to everybody. Hope this day finds you well and finds you feeling good. And I hope you feel as blessed as I do this morning. Woke up on top of the ground. And the ground's not on top of me. So I'm good. So how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Hey, you know, we do have our, it is a Monday. And on Mondays, we have our audio presentation to help motivate you, I guess. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. I don't know if it works. I don't know how it's working out, but you know, hopefully it is. And this weekend, I actually went on a prayer walk, and it was, you know, I gotta tell you, it was kind of fun. To tell you the truth, it was kind of fun. I mean, fun may not be the right word, but it was, you know, I was out there like in the hot sun doing the Facebook Live thing, you know. But I met a lot of good folks out there. As a matter of fact, a lot of good folks out there. So even a guy from Faith Radio was out there. He was out there doing the old MC things there. It looked pretty good. You know, we went over there on I don't know exactly that community we were in, Highland Gardens or Highland Village or whichever one it was. But anyway, it was off Lower Tumpka Road, whatever's over there. But it was really good. It was really good. I appreciate all the folks coming out. It was kind of warm outside, and you know, but they dealt with it. And I saw old, young, black, white, all kinds of people out there. See, you know, hey, where was Channel 12 then? Where were you then? Well, because all we talk about most of the time is relationships, and I'm so tired of diversity training. I don't know what to do. I'm just sick of it. I'm just woo. But anyway, I guess that's what you do. We have to work for a corporation. You gotta have diversity training. Although I'm not diverse enough, I guess. Let's see. Let me see. How many friends I got? A bunch of them. What color are they? A bunch of colors. Where they from? All over the place. Guess I'm diverse. Anyway, we'll be back right after these commercial messages with it's all in the power of your attitude. Okay? So I'm just saying, your attitude. Your attitude means a lot in life. You know, you can take a bad situation and make it worse, or you can make it better. Either way, though, it's because of your attitude. Okay? So we shall return uno momento. Okay? So don't y'all go into place. And we'll be back with it's all in the power of attitude. But until then, we got a break to do. Okay? We got a break to do. So that's what I'm finna go do. And I think about sometime about being in the Navy. Man, I don't know if I could have handled the Navy. That's a lot of water. I mean, that's a lot of water to be under. You know, and talking about underwater scuba diving. Yeah. Anyway, never mind. I'm having flashbacks when I was at Pearl Harbor. Whew. Anyway, we'll be back.
And when you get right down to it, don't you just feel this moment says everything? Holding you and touching you. Girl, I need a whole lifetime to go over.
On News Radio 1440. Sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
A beautiful weather week ahead. Temperatures are going to be in the 80s each afternoon. There's going to be plenty of sunshine each day, and overnight lows are going to be comfortable in the 50s to low 60s. A really nice week ahead. We'll start in the low 80s today, and then we'll go to the mid 80s tomorrow, upper 80s for Wednesday and Thursday.
I don't know.
Friday, and there's no chance of rain all week long. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. So far, so good. Your Monday holds no major problems or accidents. Nothing's being reported to send you on an alternate route. Checking out the traffic flow map in the Tri-County area. No major problems or slowdowns that we can see. That's always good news. Keep listening, and we will keep you posted. New Toyotas are arriving daily at Reinhardt Toyota on the East Boulevard. You can also see their entire inventory and shop online at ReinhardtToyota.com. Buckle up, it's the law. From Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes? But why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
Valorant has had immense success over the past 2 years, but Riot Games is now evolving the esport. Starting in 2023, Valorant will have 3 international leagues that host regular LAN events with live audiences. Riot also announced they're launching a mode that allows players to compete against teams in domestic leagues, creating a pipeline all the way to the top. These changes will allow Valorant to have a self-sustaining esport for years to come.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313.
Declare your freedom and start your journey. Jeep Freedom Days are here at Tallahassee Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Your journey will be better in the all-new Grand Wagoneer. Yours is here now. Get more done with the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn with 0% financing for 60 months. And right now, your trade-in is worth more than ever. TallasseeAutomotive.com, where you drive a little, save a lot. With approved credit, must finance through Chrysler Capital. Dealer retains all factory incentives. See dealer for details.
Your Montgomery Biscuits are ready to take on the 2022 season with the best fans in minor league baseball. Join us for a summer full of themed weekends, celebrations, and the best biscuits in town. For ticket information, go to biscuitsbaseball.com or call the box office at 323-BALL.
Ron's Roofing knows that when a storm damages your roof, it's hard to know what to do next. Easy. Rely on the most trusted and recognized roofing name, Ron's Roofing. They'll help protect you from the next storm. Ron's Roofing understands that your roof is your home's first line of defense. That's why they work with all insurance companies to ensure that your home is protected from any unexpected storms. A job won't get the Ron's Roofing name on it unless it's done right. Visit ronsroofing.com or call 215-0070.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hand me that nail gun. Here you go. And here's the prize. Lunch. Who's hungry? You know, maybe instead of loading up a nail gun with French fries to feed the crew, we should just order lunch through Easy Cater. Food from all our favorite restaurants. My bad. On time and as ordered.
Huh. Load up the hot dogs while I think about it.
Some food just doesn't want to work, but Easy Cater just does. On time and as ordered from over 85,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor.
Okay.
When it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex.
Don't you know? I would if I could. Hey, bro. I know what you mean. All right. Can you still do a PLF? Yes.
And that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. And go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. Mark Levin, this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, we're back. All right. It's all about the attitude. Okay, that's what life is all about, is the attitude. So what we're going to play for you this morning is about that same attitude. Hopefully you guys will get something out of this, like I do on Mondays and Fridays. But hopefully you sometimes it's not so much what happens to you, but it is how you. Well, listen.
With the first one is the eagle. The eagle. And the second animal is the lion. And when I identified those two animals as his favorite to identify himself with, I recognized I better study these two animals, because if he is the leader of the universe and I want to be a leader on earth, I better find out the nature of these animals and also the attitude of these animals. And I discovered that both of them are the kings of their domain. The eagle is the king of the bird kingdom, and the lion is the king of the animal kingdom. But let's talk a little bit about the lion. The lion has what I call the spirit of leadership. And this word spirit here is referring to attitude. Everybody say attitude. A leader has an attitude that makes him or her different from followers. Now, the lion is the king of the jungle, but the lion to me is a great source of encouragement to all of us. I want you to write this down. Remember this as long as you live. Number one, the lion is not the tallest animal in the jungle. Number two, the lion is not the largest animal in the jungle. Number three, the lion is not the heaviest animal in the jungle. Number four, the lion is not the smartest animal or the most intelligent animal in the jungle. And yet, when he shows up, they all run away. Well, here's one of my favorite quotes that I put in my books, and I believe it really brings home the point. An army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. And the answers to that dilemma is this: because leadership can transform cowards into violent warriors. The right kind of leadership can transform a timid into bold people who are fearless. Leadership is that powerful. Leadership can walk into a camp of depressed people, and in 20 minutes, they have turned on into unbelievable, powerful armies. Because leadership determines everything. The lion is the king of the jungle because of one word: attitude. Everybody say attitude. Write it down. Attitude. The lion has a different attitude that makes every animal afraid of him. Now, we don't want to lead by fear,
But it helps.
but it does take respect for you to become a leader. When I use the word fear in the jungle, we're talking about respect. The elephant respects the lion. The hyenas respect the lion. The giraffes, they respect the lion. What makes these massive animals respect such a small cat? The attitude is the difference. For example, a lion will see an elephant, and the thing that comes to his mind, one word: lunch.
I need to be someplace else.
I can eat this thing. And he acts the way he thinks. Now, here's another amazing mystery. The elephant is larger, bigger, stronger, more powerful, heavier, and more intelligent. And yet, when the elephant sees the lion, one word comes to mind: eater. Attitude is a product of belief. You cannot have an attitude beyond your belief. So your attitude comes from your belief system. The lion is the king because of what he believes about himself.
Well, we got something out of that. That was good. That's good stuff. Okay, so let me make sure I get this right here. There's an elephant and a lion. The lion sees the elephant. The elephant sees the lion. The lion's smaller, but the elephant says, "Hey, I better leave that guy alone." Okay, because he eats things. Attitude. Wow. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. You know what time it is. It is time for Lessons of Life. Don't just call me unless I ask you to. This hour, we don't take calls this hour. We just kind of run the gamut here. But attitude, in order to achieve it, one must believe it. Oh yeah, thank you. I had forgotten the police chief name already. Daryl Albert. Yeah, I don't think he's his plan's working out too good right now. But hey, give him a shot. Give him a shot. Give him a shot. I'm good. But and the Office of Violence Prevention, I don't think they're doing too good either. But hey, we should have hired a couple more officers with that money rather than come up with Office of Violence Prevention. We already got an Office of Violence Prevention. It's called the police. and if the police can't do it, what makes you guys think that the OVP is going to do it? I don't know. But we just going to give them a shot. I saw the guy the other day. As a matter of fact, I was on the prayer wall, and I think the guys in charge that was there that day. We appreciate him. Appreciate him coming out, but I got to tell you, okay then. Anyway, move right along. It is time for the Lessons of Life, and of course, and put this down right. And of course, whatever else I got for in the things that happen on the word of the day. That's right, the word of the day. Because I'm trying to get you guys to up your vocabulary skills so you can be wordsmith like I. Okay? I didn't say I was a grammar smith. I said I'm a wordsmith. So even when I'm using a word wrongly, I still pronounce the word correctly. I'm just saying, So I never really been into grammar anyway, to tell you the truth. But listen, long as I know it, long as you and I know what I said, I know what you said, we have communicated effectively. Grammar is a construct so they can make a brother sound stupid. I'm still trying to figure out what a adjective is and what a now I know what a noun is. I know what a noun. They call it a noun anyway. I know what a noun. That's the only one I kind of mastered a little bit. Person, place, or thing. So I got that. Now the adjective, the adverb, and all that stuff. I don't know if that stuff is even necessary. I wonder if our language the only one that's got all that stuff in it. Anyway. I don't know if anybody else I know. I wonder if the Chinese got ad libs and adverbs and preverbs and reverbs and all the other good stuff. Anyway, good morning to you. What is the word of the day? The word of the day is heinous. Heinous. Now, if you see that word on your evaluation, you are going to be terminated. Your job is over. Okay. So, and if I were you, I would get before I get to my counseling session, I would ask my counselor, can I have a copy of my evaluation? So when you go in there, you will not be surprised at the language that is used on it about you. Okay. But if you ever see the word heinous on your evaluation, my friend, you are not too long to be there at that place. You are going someplace else to work. Okay. Because what does heinous mean? It is an interesting word. It is a word that, now I've had a lot of words attributed to me. I've had a lot of words attributed to me. I've been called some names that I didn't particularly like and things of that nature. It happens. But I've never been called this one. So I'll take all the other words been used so far to describe me, but long as one of them isn't heinous. Because heinous means what? It means hatefully or shockingly. Like Montel said, I'm shocked. Hatefully or shockingly evil. Now, you may know a couple of people who you might want to give that to, but that's not up to me. That's up to you. I'm just saying. So if you ever see the word heinous, okay, so if you want to complain about a bully, you say, Mr. Johnson, Elkins is an heinous individual. Now, he'll stop for a second and try to figure out what the hell that means, but he'll get it at some point. And now when you write words like this, people start to take you serious. Heinous, hatefully, or shockingly evil. You may know a couple of people that you might want to attribute that word to. Okay, I'm just saying. So the word of the day, H-E-I-N-O-U-S. See, when I first saw that word, I could think of Heinz ketchup. I don't know why. It just looks like kind of like Heinz, but it's heinous. Okay, that's the word. All right, hatefully or shockingly evil. So if you really want to get on somebody's nerve today, if you really want to think about it, say, you are a heinous individual. And then by the time he comes back and once he looks it up on Google, he'll or she'll either change their attitude or knock you out. Either way it goes. So be careful of the words you use. I'm just saying you might want to survey the landscape before you call somebody heinous. I'm just saying, because some people, Google's a wonderful thing. You can look up a word in a couple of seconds, and then next thing you know, he will open up a can of whoop ass on you. So I'm just saying, you may want to, keep that one in your back pocket to tell your counselor or your principal or something like that. Don't ever say it to the individual that you think this about, because he may be smarter than you think. Okay, so good morning to you. What is the lesson of life? First of all, it is a great day to be alive. And it's a great day to be on top of the ground rather than ground on top of you. And the first thing you say when you get up this morning is thank you, Lord, for another day. Because you know what? This day, like all the rest of them, was never promised. Now, today is a lesson in humility. Okay, it's a lesson in humility. And it's a lesson that at some point, no matter what you got, no matter who you are, you learn this along the way. Now, I will admit that my lesson came from one of the best, I guess, news people in Montgomery, Eileen Jones, who taught me a lesson one time about about this particular subject. And here it is. If you walk into a place, okay, and people know you, but you don't know them, now that's a sign of success. But if you still need to give people a business card, well, you shouldn't think too much of yourself. Now, there is a message in there for all of us to learn. Again, if you walk into a place and people know you and you don't even know them, that's a sign of success. But if you're like me, still giving out business cards, don't nobody know you, there's a lesson in there, okay? You haven't quite made it yet, so don't think too highly of yourself, okay? I'm just saying. So, and the truth hurts, but so be it. Okay, so it's a lesson in humility, okay? When you have to tell people who you are, you haven't really made it. Now, I don't mind telling people who I am, but I don't do it in an arrogant way, because I know if I got to tell you, then, you don't know. So I ain't made it yet, okay? I have been on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber or anybody like that. Although I do have a YouTube account. I think I had 3 people look at it. I keep forgetting it's there, actually, to tell you the truth. But anyway, good morning to you. It is May the 9th. It is the 129th day in America. Well, in America. Well, in the world, actually, I guess, because the year starts the same for all of us. So it's the 129th day of the year 2022. It was on this day in 1980 that 35 people were killed when a freighter rammed into the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in Tampa, Florida, causing a 1,400-foot section of the southbound span to collapse. It was 1712. The Carolina colony was officially divided into 2 entities, North Carolina and South Carolina. It gets you about these places like North Carolina or West Virginia or Virginia. I mean, we didn't have maps back in those days like this. How do they know where it began and where it ended? I can't figure that out yet. I mean, we didn't have no satellite. We didn't have no spacecraft. We didn't have no, I mean, we didn't have any of that stuff. So how did they know? Huh? I think they kind of tricked us a little bit on that one. 1914, President Woodrow Wilson, acting on a joint congressional resolution, signed a proclamation designating the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day. In 1926, Americans Richard Byrd and Floyd Bennett supposedly became the first men to fly over the North Pole. However, U.S. scholars announced in 1996 that their examination of Byrd's flight diary suggested that he had turned back 150 miles short of his goal. In 1945, during the Second World War in Europe at an end, the Soviet forces liberated Czechoslovakia from Nazi occupation. U.S. officials announced that a midnight entertainment curfew was being lifted immediately. Okay, that's good. 1958, Vertigo, which was by Alfred Hitchcock's eerie thriller, starring James Stewart and Kim Novak, premiered in San Francisco, the movie setting. In 1961, in a speech to the National Association of Broadcasters, Federal Communications Commission Chairman Newton N. Minow described the majority of the television program as a vast wasteland. Now, I have to tell you, I don't agree with too many things the Communication Commission says, but they're right about that, and it's even worse today than it was then. Okay, the majority of television programming is a vast wasteland. And you know, listen, I didn't know that many black women went out with white guys. Okay, now I know black guys went out with white girls, but on TV now everybody's got a mixed gender, either mixed gender or we got mixed race, which I don't care. Cool, it doesn't bother me that much, but I'm just saying they're pushing this stuff on us. Okay, I'm just saying, you know, just TV or Fred's got two daddies, you know, or Cindy's got two mommies, whatever the case may be. Which I hate, you know, I hate. Now listen, I'm all for grown folks doing what they want to do. I really am. I'm all for that. I don't care what people do. But I think to put children in that environment is really, it ought to be child abuse. Okay. Now, if they grow up and, you know, that's what they want to do, that's cool. I'm just saying, that ought to be child abuse. All right. 1962, a science at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, otherwise known affectionately as MIT, succeeded in reflecting a laser beam off the surface of the moon. That was a long beam. President Richard Nixon in 1970 made a surprise and impromptu pre-dawn visit to Lincoln Memorial, where he chatted with a group of protesters who had been resting on the memorial steps after protests against the Vietnam War and Kent State shootings. In 1994, South Africa's newly elected parliament chose Nelson Mandela to be the country's first black president. In 2008, a jury selection began in the Chicago trial of R&B singer R. Kelly, accused of videotaping himself having the Who Daddy with girls as young as 13. Kelly was later acquitted on all accounts. Then we got him later. 2012, President Barack Obama declared his unequivocal support for same-sex marriage in a historic announcement that came 3 days after Vice President Joe Biden spoke in favor of such unions on NBC's Meet the Depressed. One more, in 2017, President John Trump abruptly fired FBI Director James Comey, ousting the nation's top law enforcement official in the midst of an FBI investigation and whether Trump's campaign had ties to Russia's meddling in the election, and sent him to the White House. All right, 13 years ago, the top religious advisor to Georgia Kings thanked visiting Pope Benedict XVI for expressing regret in a 2006 speech that many Muslims deem insulting to the Prophet Muhammad. Pakistan's warplanes pounded the Taliban held Swat Valley, and the country's premier minister called a war of the country's survival. And that is some things that have happened on this year, or what happened on this day in history. Anyway, some other things coming up. And when we get back, I may have a guest. I'm not sure, but if I don't, you know, politicians are gathering and running away from them, brother. I don't know why. You know, I don't know why, because they just can't tell me anything. They're mad at me because they just can't tell me anything. I'm going to believe that. Yeah, that's like believing that the Office of Violence Prevention is going to stop violence in the city of Montgomery. Yeah, I got you. Woohoo! We'll be back in a minute, okay?
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Monday. A controversial law is now in effect in Alabama. It's the Vulnerable Child Compassion and Protection Act, and it criminalizes the use of puberty blockers and hormones to treat transgender minors in Alabama. There is a lawsuit seeking to stop this from being enforced, but a judge has not handed down anything on that ruling just yet. It's been over a week now, and the manhunt continues for Alabama Corrections Officer.
Boy, them boys, them folks,
that
police, that sheriff, she had some stuff in mind when they skipped away. They've been caught. Yeah.
Lauderdale County says they believe Vicky and Casey White dumped the car and picked up another vehicle. Happening today, it's the last day to register to vote to participate in Alabama's primaries. Alabama's primary election is set for May 24th.
May 24th.
WLWI-AM is News Radio 1440, also heard on 95.1 HD3 FM in Montgomery.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A massive celebration in Russia amid the war next door. President Putin addressed his nation at an annual World War II victory parade in Moscow's Red Square. He used the occasion to justify his invasion of Ukraine.
Today you are defending what your fathers and grandfathers and great-great-fathers were fighting for.
Putin called the war in Ukraine a special military operation and vowed Russia would achieve its result. Officials in eastern Ukraine say at least 60 people have been killed in a bombing at a school being used as a shelter. Correspondent Cammie McCormick reports from the Pentagon. Russia seems intent on targeting military aid from the U.S. and its allies.
The Russians say they will consider NATO assistance to Ukraine as targets, and even as the U.S. and its allies send in more heavy weapons, Russia is seeking to destroy them. Its defense ministry says its forces have destroyed a U.S. counter-battery radar station in eastern Ukraine. It's also targeting supply routes.
World affairs are taking a toll on the financial markets. CBS News business analyst Lessinger.
Investors are feeling anxiety about where the economy goes next amid the war in Ukraine, amid rolling shutdowns in China over COVID, and amid great uncertainty.
Dow futures down 449 right now. Pro and anti-abortion rights protesters were out in full force over the weekend. Correspondent Scott McFarland is on Capitol Hill.
The abortion debate shifts to the U.S. Senate later today as Democratic Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer begins the proceedings ahead of a Wednesday vote to codify abortion rights into law.
Strengthening winds have grounded planes, dropping retardant on massive wildfires in New Mexico. The flames are being fanned by wind gusts of more than 60 miles an hour. And now there's record heat moving up from Texas. Weather Channel meteorologist Stephanie Abrams.
We have two big factors here. Very strong winds that will be blowing through, and also very dry conditions. And also, we have to deal with the heat. Abilene, 104. Our record today is 101. That was set back in 1886.
Fancy a long weekend watching the Queen's Platinum celebrations? Here's the next question. How deep are your pockets? CBS's Vicki Barker's in London.
For a mere $60,000, you and a companion can spend 2 nights in the royal penthouse suite of London's Corinthia Hotel for the Jubilee weekend. A chauffeur-driven Rolls-Royce will meet your flight, and your very own butler will serve you cocktails on your private balcony as you watch the ceremonial trooping of the color.
This is CBS News.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance yours, Rocket Mortgage can help you get there. For home loan solutions that fit your life, Rocket can.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? My name is Ron LeGrand, and over the past 40 years, I've bought over 3,000 houses without using my money or credit and taught thousands to do the same. Today, even in a virtual environment, we buy nice houses in nice neighborhoods using no banks, realtors, contractors, or other costly entanglements, and build huge cash flow and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit and little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Text cash to 99,799 and I'll send you my free training. I promise I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text cash to 99,799 and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's cash to 99,799. Again, text cash to 99,799.
Get ready for Queen Elizabeth, the home movies.
The Queen is giving the BBC unprecedented access to her personal archive of home movies for a new documentary. That's hundreds of home videos shot by her, her parents, and her late husband, Prince Philip, including footage of her as a young mother and her engagement. Producers call the access alone extraordinary and say the public will get to see a rare and deeply personal side of the royal family. Elizabeth, the Unseen Queen, airs later this month, ahead of the Queen's Jubilee, marking 70 years on the throne. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
It was like old times at the movies.
Every night I dream.
I'm on the throne too long.
The nightmare begins.
Marvel's Doctor Strange sequel with Benedict Cumberbatch brought in a blockbuster $185 million in North American ticket sales over
Does
the
the body
weekend.
good.
That is the 11th biggest opening weekend in history. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Got questions about your roof? Ripper Region Contracting has the
Top Gun, baby. Top Gun. I'm going to see Top Gun.
Shop the Rustic Furniture Outlet at American Oak and More.
Familiar stranger.
Factory direct prices.
Up to 70% off every day.
How can we sell so cheap?
Because we are a direct outlet for the factory.
We have over 1,500 items in stock available for immediate pickup or have it delivered.
Plus, we have truckloads arriving weekly.
Bedroom suites, table and chairs, occasional tables, entertainment center, consoles, gun cabinets. If it's rusted, we got you covered.
The Rustic Furniture Outlet with Tucker Highway next to American Oak and More. This is Peggy Wolf from American Oak and More. It's your for a limited time, everything in American Oak and More's inventory catalog and special orders is 50% off the top
Top Gun.
That's right. Half off. Living room, dining room, bedroom, home office, and outdoor. Interest-free financing available. Hurry, still in soon. Mattress accessories and cozy excluded.
Like we've been saying for almost 30 years, you don't gotta save money, you don't gotta save wood.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. I'm happy, and my wife is happy.
That's like a good glass of milk.
$99, and that includes all testing, including PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres
Live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
It is a great day to be alive. I mean, how much better can it be? I got a glass of cold milk here, good stuff. I got Top Gun Maverick coming out in a week or so. And I think I got a premier seat if I go to the place. Me and Z. That's right. I don't care if nobody goes in that studio but me. It's going to be me and Z watching Top Gun. Oh, yeah. It's a great day to be alive in the greatest country on earth. Although we're teetering a little bit here. You know, I told somebody the other day I drank milk, and the guy said, I'm 52. I don't drink milk. I said, why not? I said, it's good stuff. I mean, it's milk is good. I don't know why people think when they get a certain age, they're supposed to stop drinking milk. I love milk. Oh, yeah. That's why when I fell down a couple of times at the house, I didn't break nothing. I even fell on the sidewalk once. I don't know, just walking. I get walking while getting old. I don't know what it was. But I bounced right back up, baby. Bounced right. I did a PLF and I got back on my feet. That's a parachute landing fall for you folks who don't know that. And the only thing that was different now than it was when I was 20 or 19 is that I got up a little slower this time than I did when I was 19. You know, I got up a little slower. Yeah, I did. But and the other day, I told Z, I said, you think you can beat me running? I said, yeah. So you said you can beat me in 100-yard dash? He said, yeah. Okay, I'm still waiting for him to get out there okay, maybe not the 100-yard dash, but maybe we go like a 30-yard dash or something like that. I'm still trying to figure out how we're going to work that out. But I'm going to take him. I'm going to take him. I am. I'm going to run. See, you only get old when you get an old attitude. When you get an old attitude, then you start to get old, and your needs start to break, everything starts messing up, and then you whine about how old you are and all that stuff. Not me, baby. It's great to get older, but I'll never get old. Okay, even though next week I will be. Even though next Monday, when's the 16th? Anybody know? Okay, when's 16th? Okay, it's next Monday. Now I'm expecting something really good for my birthday from my audience. I'm expecting something really good. I will officially, if I make it, I will officially belong to the old people's corps. Yeah. I will. Next Monday, I'll be 65 years old. Even though I know I don't look like it, I don't act like it, but I will be. And so I'll officially join the old people's corps. You know, officially I'll have my little red and white card. You know, although I ain't getting plan B, whatever the hell that is. We're not taking the plan B thing. No. I'm not gonna get them $170 of my little bit of money as I'm getting now. No. No, I'll go to the VA forever to get me some drugs. I mean legal drugs, of course, not the other drugs. But anyway, good morning to you. I got a lot of things to talk about. Now I was supposed to have a guest. He called me this morning like 2:00 in the morning. Of course, at 2:00 this morning, I was doing a lot of things, but not waiting for a text to come was not one of them. So, but that's okay. John, I think his name's Odo. Maybe he'll give me a call this morning sometime and we'll talk to him. He's running for the governor. He beat Kay Ivey in a straw poll up in Huntsville, what do you call those things? Debate? Well, not a debate, but it was a forum. So now he's on the radar screen as the possibility, but I don't think he's going to beat it. But we'll give him a shot. Good morning. Who's this? What? Okay then. Wait a long time. Good morning. Yes. Yes, I got you. I got you. I don't have you, but you're on the air. Mm-hmm. I said yes.
And the people that distribute the business card give them a sense of importance. You can call somebody up and they just glad somebody called them. That gives them a sense of importance also. I heard you talk about the political parties a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Magna Carta?
Okay.
Nope. You don't know anything about Magna Carta, I guess.
I don't know how you can go to high school and not know something about the Magna Carta, but well, this ain't class 101. I know about it, but this. Yeah, I didn't. Hopefully you didn't call to ask me a bunch of questions.
Well, I called to try to have a basic conversation with you.
Well, don't blow it then.
Protecting royalty and from that, from the Whigs.
Okay.
George Washington, the first elected president, was a Federalist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Roundhead, the Know Nothing Party. And you had then the Muslims. Can't deal with that either, huh?
That's history, brother. I'm living in the 2022 right now. So I'm. My Lord. Well, wait a minute. If that's the case, I have to shut up. There are a lot of things I don't know the answer to. Even you don't know the answer to everything either. Okay, so I guess we all, can go there if we need to. I know things you don't know. You know things I don't know. And I guess that's why we're different human beings. We learn from one another. No, I am Computer Renaissance. I don't need to go to them. Yeah, I don't need to go to them. I fix my own. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. No, they're not. No, they're not. No. 82% of the people in the Democratic Party may be, but 82% of people in America are not for.
Would be women, and women won't be so cavalier about sending their sons and daughters to war. Further think every ethnic group should be represented on the Supreme Court.
Why is that? No. We're not a nation built on race. We're a nation built on ideology. Why in the world do we want to have specifically have a group of certain people? We got the same rights in America, same rights: black, white, red, green, Jamaican, African, Japanese, Chinese, Polak. Why we need? You think we need every race in America on the Supreme Court? That's the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time.
It's my understanding that nations are built by population.
Except America was built. America was built by everybody from many nations.
They weren't built by everybody.
Really?
I'm pretty sure in China, in India, they would like to get rid of some of their population.
Okay, but this ain't China or India. So yeah, I'm talking about America. Mm-hmm.
But you got currently 9 people that really truly are over 330 million. There's something wrong with that in my mind.
The principle, would you agree that America is lent itself by certain principles? Now, just because the formula is good doesn't mean that the formulators are perfect. But the Constitution of the United States, all men, the preamble to the Constitution, all men are created equal. Okay? And they are.
Are you telling me now that a child coming on board is equal to a judge?
In humanity, yes. The constructs by which you speak of are those things that are made by people that are here. But in humanity, we are all equal and endowed with certain unalienable rights. Maybe they were smarter. Maybe they were smarter because of their culture. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
also worked with Edison and made great guns. Dr. George Washington Carver. There are two out there, about the only one that can touch him is Edison. He had about 400 inventions. So it is people. It's people that take a nation.
That's what I said.
Okay. Okay, you seem to be a little tired of, so I'm gone.
Okay, no, but that's what we're saying. But I don't think we need every race on the Supreme Court, and we all have the same ideology. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
You know it takes a mighty big hall to work out now.
Well, yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you started off this morning talking about crime. Maybe our police chief can do what his former boss did down in New Orleans. You know what that was, don't you?
What was that?
Crime got so bad in New Orleans that the mayor called the Justice Department and said, please take over our police department. And they were placed under federal receivership. Do you know how bad your police department has to be to get the feds to come in and take it over?
Kind of destroys the whole meaning of to serve and protect.
They said it was the worst violations, civil rights violations, criminal violations they had ever seen. They've cited over 400 of them. And maybe he can get our mayor to call the Justice Department and get them to come in and take over the police department. Because he's got a history. He was in a command position down there when they're under federal receivership. So, but anyway, hey, I saw a grant. I was reviewing a grant this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be a great grant for Montgomery. And there's no match to it. You don't have to do a 5 or 20% match. As we hear, it's federal free money. But anyway, the grant says it's innovative ways to reduce crime in communities across the United States, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they want you to address underserved populations. And underserved populations are like veterans, homeless people, and immigrants. So what if mayor and the city council declared Montgomery is a sanctuary city, and instead of sending these illegal immigrants to D.C., Delaware, these other places that maybe not really want them, but they bring them here, and we start a training and technical center, we would increase our population because we're losing population, we're losing students, we put in plus all the jobs that need to be filled in Montgomery. We could give them a federal ID number, and they could, it could be the model program for the country.
Well, it's certainly something to think about. Certainly something to think.
I'm just saying, they're going to come here eventually anyway. So why not jump on and get this free federal money and make Montgomery the model for the country?
Sounds good.
And we're going to need workers because the Americans don't want to work anymore.
Well, a lot of them don't. A lot. I don't understand why our federal government just cannot, our states cannot give work visas without going through the whole. Now, I understand background check, but a work permit, just like they do in Canada, I guess, is a lot simpler to get. And that way, nobody has to jump the fences and all that. If you want to come over here and work. I don't get it.
Well, man, they did that for years. That's what used to go on in California. They'd bring the workers over, they'd work the fields, they'd give them a temporary work visa, then they'd make their money, and then they'd go back home and come back the next year. Well, then California and all these other states said, we're not going to make you go back. You can just stay. Now they're living under the interstates and everything else. But anyway.
Oh, well.
Have a good day, Mayor.
You too. 860-1440 is the number here. You want to give Scarlett a talk to you. What else was I talking about? A lot of things. Martin's Restaurant evidently is back open. I guess they just had some issues over there for a minute. I hope they stay open because that's some of the best food in Montgomery, as a matter of fact. Let's go back to the phone and see who this is. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Yes, I got you. I'm listening to you loud and clear.
Okay. Hey, I want to address my comments to Mr. Magna Carta.
Okay.
The United States didn't exist when Magna Carta was written. It wasn't about sexuality. It was about granting basic human rights. Second off, maybe he ought to study federalism and democracy a little bit, because the whole idea of federalism on which our system is based is division of power, not monopoly of power, like the federal government wants. It's about dividing up power so there's not a monopoly. That's what the Supreme Court justices are apparently basing this decision on.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's absolutely right. The Magna Carta. Yeah. Anyway, let's I'll get to the Magna Carta later on. It takes my mind too far back. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, yeah, come on, my friend.
Good morning, Ed.
This is my brother. Good morning. What's going on? You cannot bypass Jesus Christ and get to God. Lesson of life. You cannot bypass. Oh, my son. Oh, you God. Oh, my son. You gotta do that. Some people never do that, but that's what it's supposed to be. Like, there's somebody. There was something that I wanted to know about. What was that about? What the last thing you said 2 minutes ago about something? I want to get on this quicker. You were speaking about something, Kevin. Can I call back around? If it comes to my mind.
Sure, Ed. Sure. Why not? All right, then. I guess we all have those moments. 860-1440 is the number you want to give us a call. I'd love to talk to you about it. Now, somebody just sent me a text that Mark never closed. I think they did close for a day or so because according to this article in Montgomery Advertiser, the beloved eatery, Martin's Rest, opened as usual on Thursdays, 2 days after the Montgomery City Council voted to revoke their business license for failure to pay city sales tax. Now, one thing about that, when I started my little business, I know you if you collect city money. Now, if you first of all, it ain't your money. Okay, it's not your. If you got a business, it's not your money. And I know a couple of businesses that have actually done that. But it's not your money. So it does. I mean, you're not losing anything when you pay them the 10% sales tax because it's not your money anyway. You're just the collector of the money, but the money doesn't belong to the business anyway. So I don't understand how people would keep that money anyway. But I know it was just a mistake by somebody. Okay. Last week's unanimous vote by the council revoked the license of the Meat and 3 Landmark been forever, but it won't be required to close until after the May 17th meeting. City Clerk Brenda Blaylock said that the business could still avoid the fate if it comes back into compliance. A worker at Martin said that the owner was unavailable to speak last week. City workers, there are many checkpoints in the process before a business winds up on the council's agenda, and they do that. I think they do try to, but that worried me because those guys are. Martin. That's like don't they get an historic designation or something? Aren't they kind of like Chris's hot dogs? I mean, they all been around for a long time. We ought to give Martin's one of them things too. Anyway, when a business falls behind on remitting these local sales taxes and collection efforts fail, businesses get steered towards City Revenue Supervisor Bob Taylor, who tries to set up a meeting to learn more about this specific situation. Taylor said that often leads to the city learning about some unforeseen circumstances that made things harder recently. So listen, if you're in business, got a problem, Just call Mr. Taylor up, because I don't want to hear about anybody. It's because I'm telling you, once you close the door of a business, it's hard to open them back. I'm just telling you. So you might want to give a man a call. Okay. Oh, and for all you know, now here's a business that's coming to Montgomery that I'm actually excited. I'm kind of excited about. See, I'm all against panhandling. But let me tell you what I'm not against. Okay. I am not against bucksters. Okay. Bucksters. You know what that is? Okay. You know what a buckster is? Buskers is what it is. Those are people that sit on the streets and play instruments for you, entertain you, and get paid. See, I'm good with that. I like that kind of thing. I might want to stop and sit by the Black Lives Matter fountain and hear so me and a couple of guys gonna get together. Okay, but you got to be able to sing, and we gonna do our lunchtime concert downtown during lunchtime. I'll get sunshine. Okay, I'm just saying. So I need 2 more guys. Okay, 3 more guys. Need to be 4 of us. Because how many parts of a voice are there? There's baritone, there's tenor, there's bass. Okay, so we need, and then that's got me. I'm somewhere in between. So we need it. So what we can do is now, I'm serious about this now. What we can do is we can come downtown at lunchtime every day, and we could get a license. Okay, you got to get a license. I think the license is $25 for a year or $7 a day. Who would not pay the $25? And when I leave here today, I'm going down there, pay my $25. I need 3 more guys. Okay, y'all got to pay $25 too. But then we get down there and we put out a big cup, so folks can put money by, and we split that money 4 ways. Okay, so if we get $1, we make a quarter piece. But either way it goes. I love these guys. Okay, now that's not panhandling. That right there is entertaining the masses, entertaining the people. And since we got so many, I mean, when is the last time you've seen people on the sidewalk singing? Anybody? And then we can keep it up during Christmas time. We could do like Christmas carols and make money on the sidewalk. I'm good for that. Okay, and they're called buskers. Buskers. Buskers is what you call those people. Okay, so I love that kind of stuff. Then I don't mind giving you a couple of dollars. Okay, but just sitting on the street talking about I need money. I don't care. Okay, we all need money. I don't care. And listen, for that same guy, every time I see him, his mama on the side of the road with no gas in the car, you need to take her home. Because she's been out there for about 3 or 4 months. I'm just saying, you need to take your mama home. Okay, she's been in that car a long time out there in the hot sun. I mean, I know she's been there for at least 3 months, because I've been seeing you for 3 months. So get mama off I-80, okay, I-85. Get off I-85 and take her home. Okay, man, I mean, that ought to be elder abuse or something. Anyway, I gotta go. I mean, same guy I meet all the time. My mama's stuck on the freeway and I need some gas money. I ain't mad at you for needing gas money, but your mama been out there a long time, brother. That's all I can tell you. That is elder abuse. She better not be 65 or older, because the next time I'm gonna follow you and I'm gonna call the police on you. Your mama been sitting out there for 3 months. I'm just saying, you might wanna get her to the house. Okay. Okay. So let's take a break. We'll be back.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of qualified candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
A beautiful
I got sunshine. I don't know. It's a rainy night in Georgia. Lord, I believe it's raining all over the world.
Mid-80s tomorrow, upper 80s for Wednesday and Thursday, mid-80s again by Friday, and there's no chance of rain all week long. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Montgomery, we've got a minor accident reported on East Boulevard, so please use caution. It's near Shirley Lane. East Boulevard in front of the Chevron, it's Shirley Lane. Outside of that, we're looking good. You keep listening. We will keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Trenton State Community College is offering continuing education classes in pharmacy technician and medical building.
No more milk left.
Classes start June 6th. Call 420-4240. That's Trenton State Continuing Education. Buckle up, it's the law. From Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major to Left.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
Now that we're getting back to normal, let's get our kids the academic support they need too. Whether you can tutor, mentor, or just have a little time to serve in your community, GetReadySet.org can match you up with a student in your community that suits your talents and time.
Get more information about Ready, Set, and Project Shine on our website, newsradio1440.com.
I tend to second guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit Creon.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON.com.
My muscles ached. I was tired all the time. My son had a full-blown asthma attack. It came out of nowhere.
The unsettling thing about some symptoms is
I had a fever and these terrible headaches.
you don't always know what's causing it.
It was Lyme disease from a tick bite. I had Zika virus from a mosquito. He had a reaction to cockroach allergens.
Threats to your health can come from unexpected places. Get the facts. Visit pestproof.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
This is State Public Health Veterinarian Dr. D. Jones. Having fun outdoors can mean fun in the sun, but it can also mean exposure to mosquitoes and ticks. While most insect bites are just annoying, some viruses and bacteria can be spread through the bites. There are several things that you can do to lower your risk, such as using EPA-registered repellents containing 20% DEET or picaridin. It is best to always consult with a pediatrician before using repellents on children. Also, wear light-colored clothing with long sleeves and always check yourself for ticks. Additionally, install or repair window and door screens. Empty any standing water in the yard. Keep gutters clean and drainage ditches free from leaves or other yard debris. This will also help reduce standing water. These basic techniques can help you safely enjoy the outdoors and create memories that will last a lifetime.
Telling it like it really is.
That's the fact, Jack!
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
All righty then. It is 7:37 this morning. It's a Monday morning. It's a great day to be alive. I had my first prayer walk I went through the other day with Ken Austin, and along with the Pastor Ken Austin, and along with a bunch of people, as a matter of fact. I don't exactly know the neighborhood we were actually in. It was a nice neighborhood, though. It's over by Lower Tumpka Road, someplace over there. I don't know where it was, but want to thank all the people that came out for that and just had a great time with folks over there. And I didn't even, hey, listen, I didn't even ask for a free water or free anything. So anyway, good for them. They do it. I think they do it every once a month or something like that. They pick a neighborhood and they walk in and you know what? It was listen. It was really nice. We saw people who normally wouldn't come outside that time of day. You know what I mean? But it was a joyous occasion. It really was, and because people need to spend a lot more time getting to know their neighbors than sitting in the house. I mean, my neighbors get tired of seeing me. See, one of my neighbors even cussed me out, but that's okay. But still, I like meeting my neighbors. Okay, I just like meeting them. I mean, what if it's cold outside and I'm sitting there coming down the road, my car broke down, but since we never talked to each other, you just pass a brother up. Okay, I'm just saying you got to get to know your neighbors, man. Go knock on the door, take them some cheese toads or Cheetos or something. You know, go get to know you. You ain't got to cook them lunch and dinner, but you know, you got to get to know your people. It's like people who go to church. You know, I used to go to Vaughn Park. It's such a big church until nobody knows anybody. And I'd see people that I knew went to church, but they didn't know me. I didn't know them. So I just, of course, I went over there and made myself known. You know, oh, you go around church? Yeah, yeah. I think a church too big when you can't know everybody in it. I just think it's too big. Okay, get to know your folks. Okay. Anyway, good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Let me interject something to you that a few weeks back you had the announcer for the Biscuits or
Right.
person representing them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I was watching the USFL Saturday night, and in the Birmingham News they were saying that it might work. You know what they're doing? Their kids are always free. I noticed that the stands were pretty full, except for the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were paying up there. But this is what we need to do here in Montgomery. And I bet you that the Biscuits will go along with it. Let the children come free with paid attendance from their parents.
Well, and what would be the age of the children that would be free?
We could go as high as 16. You got to start somewhere.
I say 15. I would say 15, because at 16 you can actually get a job.
Yeah, but you know they're not prepared for jobs.
Well, we keep saying that there won't be.
You're trying to train a generation X.
Mm.
Who's up probably some of the people are 40.
Well, there's a guy who lost. Right, there's a guy who lost his job at a Dollar General store because he put a sign up saying he is not going to hire any millennials in generation. He wasn't going to hire them because they don't work. And he lost his job. But I understand where he was coming from. But you know, but somebody out there wants to work.
What can we do? You know, back when Sidney Williams and Mark Gilmore was on the city council, I put together a proposal, and we were going to create something. General Term C was going to actually give me a National Guard unit to help these young men. And this, about this same time, you had your youth corps.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And you know, we were actually trying to do something. But what happens is we're not credentialed.
Well,
People that are credentialed to do this are elected. They have no entrepreneurial intuitiveness about them at all. And they're strictly to better themselves.
But I found the impediment. Right. Well, I don't know if that's true. I think the biggest impediment I ran into were women, their mothers. You know, I just.
Well, you know, that's another whole story. Mad at me this morning for something I said over the weekend, and I caught myself before I said it.
Well, don't take it back. Don't take it back.
No, I'm not.
Okay then.
She looked at me and she winked like I was right.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But anyway, that's something we need to work on. Can you imagine if we had a Hank Aaron baseball, Little League, Warner football going back? You got Willie Mays. You got all these guys from Alabama, man, that are Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, you know, you can't even find a Little League team. I coached the Little League baseball team back in 1981 in Tuskegee. Created a whole new team. They only had 4, and I made it 15. And every one of those boys was successful. Every one of them.
Now, come on to Montgomery in 1992, and I midnight basketball from Kershaw Y opened. I created the Gin. And while we were playing basketball, it was fine. Hughes Thornton,
Yeah.
he gave me the crime report for Tottenham Court when they went the school year round. His wife we had adopted Patterson Elementary, and there was very little crime. You have to manage these young people, and nobody's doing it. The cell phone is doing it, and these young males don't even know how to talk to each other. That's why they're killing each other. That's my contribution.
All right, appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Cap.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go back to something I think was Bishop said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something about the representation on the court and the legislature should be managed by every race and ethnic, every race
Right.
and gender.
Right.
Well, Kevin, this country was founded, and you said something about this country was founded on a principle or something. But if we don't learn from our mistakes, this country has done a lot of bad things.
And it did a lot of good things.
Where Kevin, we go through life, we do good and bad things.
Right.
But this country has done a lot of bad things to a lot of people and has never really made amends for.
And how should we do that now? How should we do that now?
We need to tweak. I'm not saying that we need to overhaul our country.
Mm-hmm.
We need to tweak this country some kind of way. About the thing, you had this first black female to be on the Supreme Court. And you had callers to call in and say, why did it have to be a black female? Well, maybe we need a little tweaking because we're not represented the way this country is actually made up. And why is it all the other Supreme Court justices, except for a few, have been white males?
Because the concept of America, though, was brought about by white folks.
Well, Kevin, but it was made off the back.
No, it wasn't either. Come on. The ideology behind America had nothing to do with black folks.
Well, it sure did, because black people weren't considered a man.
Well, but we wasn't here all that time either.
Kevin, we've been here since the beginning.
Really?
Blacks have been here since the beginning.
What neighborhood did we live in?
Well, Kevin, when the Caucasians came,
Yeah.
they bought the Negroes.
They did? Now you telling me stuff that I don't. You telling me stuff that I don't know. I never heard that.
Slavery started in this country.
1600s, I believe, didn't it?
Okay, when did we get our first settlers in this country?
Well, let's see. Columbus, 1492. I know, but listen. The idea of America should supersede the wrongs that America has done.
But Kevin, the road to heaven and hell is paved with a bunch of good intentions.
And I'm with you, but you cannot undo the past.
Well, we can't, Kevin, but that's why we need to make some adjustments as we go.
And are you telling? Well, hold on, let me ask you right. If we did some adjustments, do you believe that anybody would be complaining still? Okay, then.
We should strive to be better. We should not strive to be stagnant or backward thinking.
Wait a minute. We live in a country right now where a man can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman, you can get abortion on request. How much more do we need? You can be a guy on Monday and a girl on Tuesday and something else in between on Wednesday. How much do we need to give in?
Kevin, I didn't say give in. I said adjust.
Adjust what though? Tell me, but what do we adjust? How? Well, we have adjusted our way of life. It used to be a girl was a girl and a boy was a boy. And that was strictly a political move. You know that for the voting public, so the South wouldn't overrun us in the House of Representatives. Sure. And I knocked the hell out of a guy in the 7th grade too, and I shouldn't have done it. We all done things. And so did he. What do you want him to pay? Brother, we done changed. We have changed enough already. Okay.
My father's 75 years old, Kevin. He says, you know what, we made a lot of things. We've made a lot of changes since in the 1940s and 50s when he grew up.
Right.
We made a lot of changes from the 70s when I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
But Kevin,
and we had a lot of changes from the 90s. And so we.
I tell you what, Kevin, look at the field that you're in.
Yeah.
Black are in the field that you're in.
Because, wait a minute, there are a lot of blacks in the field that I'm in, but they have segregated themselves to a particular genre of radio. There are a lot of black folks in it. Matter of fact, some are pretty famous. Who's that guy they call the God of something on the urban radio? They called him God. I mean, we got a bunch of black DJs.
Hold on. Do you think you're the only black conservative in America?
I'm not really a conservative. I'm not really totally conservative. So put in for the job. Oh, no. I'm a moderate. I'm a moderate leaning right. Yeah. But I am. I go either way if it makes sense. Right. Well, because they own a computer. So, right. Yeah. Listen, I gotta go, man. I gotta go my last break. But we'll talk again. I don't know what more changing you need us to do. We got people now that don't even have to say they're a girl or a boy. What changing? What other change we need to make? I don't know. Wait a minute. If you're gonna try to make the field level so everybody is successful, it won't happen. Because the only way you can do that is take from those who have and give it to those who don't. The optimum word there is take. We'll be back.
Sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. When you apply for a home loan, there are different options depending on your situation and needs. With Rocket Mortgage, you can see how different down payments, monthly payments, and closing costs will impact your loan and your budget. When you need a lender who works for you, Rocket can.
A beautiful weather week ahead. Temperatures are going to be in the 80s each afternoon. Each day and overnight.
So the court will represent all the people of the nation. Oh, y'all must be smoking something.
A really nice week ahead.
So we're going to have a Supreme Court full of 800-something million people. Gotcha.
Thursday, mid-80s again by Friday, and there's no chance of rain all week long. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got a bad accident on Ray Thorrington and Vaughn there beside the CVS as you're heading out of Ray Thorrington, trying to get to Vaughn Road. Authorities are on scene, Ray Thorrington Road and Vaughn Road in front of the CVS. Also, an accident's been reported on the East Boulevard in front of the Chevron near Shirley Lane. Just keep your eyes open for that one. Good credit, slow credit, doesn't matter. Call the 18 and MCS in Wetumpka for a cash-out refinance or an equity loan. MCS, 567-9000. NMLS 232-876. Buckle up, front and back. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
How many miles have you driven past your scheduled auto service checkup? A few hundred or a few thousand? Call Chico's Auto Pros today to schedule a quick service at our Atlanta Highway location.
Hey, I'm Jake from Long Island, and my portfolio performance honestly just wasn't cutting it. I was looking for something more. So I researched alternative investments like crypto and NFTs, but they didn't make sense to me. Then I read about Masterworks and Forbes. I did my research and invested over $55,000 with them. I know it was the smart thing to do. I tell all my family and friends about Masterworks, and now I'm telling you.
Before deciding to invest, carefully review the important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclaimer.
Want to kill bugs like the pros do? Now you can with Maggie's Farm. Created by pest control professionals, Maggie's Farm plant and mineral-based products provide amazingly effective insect control. All of our plant-based products are safe to use around children and pets and won't leave behind a messy, oily residue. Maggie's Farm, lethal to bugs, easy on the planet. Now, for a limited time, get a free box of our patented no-spill ant kill bait stations with purchase at greenbugkiller.com. That's greenbugkiller.com.
Republicans will run the U.S. Senate next year, but will they fold as they always have, or stand strong against Biden's socialist Marxist agenda? That's a question Alabama Republicans will answer on primary day. Katie Britt's an establishment moderate who worked for Richard Shelby and cheered when Doug Jones beat Roy Moore. And Durant, a tough guy who's weak on guns, and a lot more. The only one conservatives can trust is Mo Brooks. Brooks is the hard-right conservative who stood up to Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, and even Donald Trump. So you know, Mo Brooks will always stand up to Joe Biden. Brash, bold, controversial, but always right. That's Mo Brooks. Mo Brooks for U.S. Senate. Because it's time, Alabama sends a message to Biden and the Democrats. And that message is Mo Brooks. The largest conservatives PAC paid for this ad and is responsible for its contents. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
My muscles ached. I was tired all the time. My son had a full-blown asthma attack. It came out of nowhere.
The unsettling thing about some symptoms is
I had a fever and these terrible headaches.
you don't always know what's causing them.
It was Lyme disease from a tick bite. I had West Nile virus from a mosquito. He had a reaction to cockroach allergens.
Threats to your health can come from unexpected places. Get the facts. Visit pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
Smoking.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it, so can you.
For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, and now you can hear me live every afternoon. It all starts at 2, and it's all happening right here on News Radio 1440.
Melody, I'm gonna sing it to my friends.
And I got a call over the weekend. Somebody thought I was dogging them on the air, and I wasn't. Let me say this. If you're going to run for public office in this city, if you want to garner some respect or some legitimacy about you running, you need to come out to every place where you're offered to speak that is logistically possible for you to do that and speak to the people. Don't think you can get elected by just not showing up any place or only going to the places. And that's why I get on my conservative buddies sometimes. The only place they seem to go is where people agree with you. When I run for office, if I run for office in the next 5 years, because that'll be over, I'm going to go places where people don't like me. As a leader, it's my job to convince you, at least try to convince you to at least see things my way. Not everything, but some things. Okay? If the only place you go is where they tell you, even if you pass gas, it smells good, then I got to tell you, you're going to the wrong place. You know, I'm just telling you, if your hair looks bad, somebody needs to tell you that your hair looks bad. Hey, the king ain't got no clothes on, he's butt naked, but won't nobody tell him. Whoop, sorry about that. Good morning, who's this? That's it. Ed, I'm gonna fire you. I'm just gonna ban you just for the hell of it. Yeah, you ain't gonna ever talk no more. All right, not on this show anyway. I'm getting sick of you. Anyway, 860-1440 is the number you want to give us a call. Love to talk to you if whatever on your mind. So for all those folks out there running for office, think that you don't talk, and this is everybody across the spectrum, the Democrats and the Republicans. Okay, because I'm the only talk show, you just can't pull the wool over my eyes. You can't give me that same old crap that you've been giving people. And if you're too much of a wuss to come up here, then I'll just call you a wuss. Okay? Okay, so I'm just saying. So be a man or a woman, whichever one you, or maybe you both. I'm not sure how that works nowadays, or whatever the hell you identify as, and come talk to folks. I'm the king of talk in this city, and I plan to stay that way until I get canned. We'll be back.
I'm gonna sing it to my friends.
FA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Monday. A controversial law is now in effect in Alabama. It's the Vulnerable Child Compassion and Protection Act, and it criminalizes the use of puberty blockers and hormones to treat transgender minors in Alabama. There's a lawsuit seeking to stop this from being enforced, but a judge has not handed down anything on that ruling just yet. It's been over a week now, and the manhunt continues for Alabama Corrections Officer Vicky White and inmate Casey White. The pair's getaway car was discovered recently in Tennessee and will soon be back in Florence as the investigation continues. The sheriff in Lauderdale County says they believe Vicky and Casey White dumped the car and picked up another vehicle. Happening today, it's the last day to register to vote to participate in Alabama's primary. Alabama's primary election is set for May 24th. I'm Jasmine Williams, and these are your morning headlines.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM of Montgomery. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Fears are rippling through futures markets ahead of the first trading day of the new week. Dow futures are down 357 days after notching its worst performance in 2 years. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is keeping an eye on the bigger picture.
The big question among investors is whether the central bank, the Federal Reserve, will be able to raise interest rates by enough to tamp down prices or inflation. If the Fed cannot get inflation under control, then the fear is that both businesses and consumers will simply stop spending, and inflation will cause the next recession.
S&P futures are off 60 in Moscow. Vladimir Putin presided over a massive military parade held annually to celebrate the defeat of Nazi Germany. This time, he used it to justify his war on Ukraine.
We saw how they started developing military infrastructure, how they began to bring in hundreds of foreign advisors, sent constant supplies of the most modern military equipment from NATO countries.
Ukraine's defense ministry says Russian forces, backed by tanks and artillery, are storming the besieged Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol, where soldiers are still holed up inside. Among them, Ilya Samoilenko, who spoke at a virtual news conference.
We are unique because nobody expected that we will last so long, and we're still lasting. We're still holding.
In Washington, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer plans to file cloture today on a bill that would make Roe v. Wade a law. Though he lacked the votes to pass it this week, Schumer says he wants to force lawmakers to go on record.
Every American will see how every senator stands. They can't duck it anymore.
Protests both for and against abortion rights continue across the country. Investigators in the Bahamas are still searching for answers in the deaths of 3 American tourists in their hotel rooms at a Sandals resort in Exuma. The island's health minister, Dr. Michael Darville.
There were some signs of individual presenting to the clinic with nausea, vomiting, and some symptoms.
Another person was airlifted to a hospital. Dr. Darville says they do not suspect foul play. If you think prices are out of control in the U.S.,
I'm Vicki Barker in London. How bad is the cost of living crisis here? London's fire department has issued an urgent notice warning people not to burn furniture or other timber indoors to keep warm. And energy prices are set to skyrocket here again this fall when the latest government price cap expires.
NASDAQ futures are down 237. S&P futures now off 66. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results. And resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your work world is your oyster, grads.
New graduate hiring is projected to increase 31%, so says the National Association of Colleges and Employers.
Combination of delayed hiring and really low available workforce is waiting for them as they graduate.
Vanderbilt University's Dr. Sean Doherty expects employers to show new hires their appreciation.
They should be in a position to command higher salaries and better benefits as employers try to compete for them.
Stephen Kaufman, CBS News.
This year's Tony nominations are being announced right now.
I am a Disney usher. I'm barely scraping by.
A strange loop about an aspiring writer making a musical about an aspiring writer is expected to take one of 4 best musical spots for Best Musical Revival. The question is whether the critically panned Music Man with Hugh Jackson will get a nod for Best Play.
Travelers, immigrants.
The Lehman Trilogy's a sure bet. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
I never thought it would happen to me.
I never thought this could happen to me.
And then
It did.
it did.
We live life as though these types of life-altering incidents will never happen to us. Until they do.
Nelson Law. We fight for your compensation and your peace of mind. Don't just give it away. Nelson Law, 399-4988. A representation saying that the quality of legal services be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Declare your freedom and start your journey. Jeep Freedom Days are here at Talis, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Your journey will be better in the all-new Grand Wagoneer. Yours is here now. Get more done with the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn with 0% financing for 60 months. And right now, your trade-in is worth more than ever. TalisEautomotive.com, where you drive a little, save a lot. With approved credit, must finance through Chrysler Capital. Deal retains all factory incentives. See dealer for details.
Alabama's one and only Kay Ivey.
Washington wants to control everything we do, but that isn't happening here in Alabama. We do not teach hate to our kids. We do not pay people to quit work, and we do not use tax dollars to kill our babies.
Kay Ivey. Her Alabama common sense drives Washington liberals nuts.
I signed the strongest pro-life law in America. I stood with Trump to ensure no election here can ever be stolen.
But that's not all. Kay Ivey threw Common Core out of our schools, banned transgender youth sports, and passed constitutional carry to protect our Second Amendment rights. Kay Ivey, the conservative governor the woke left loves to hate.
America's the greatest country in the world. Joe Biden may not get that, but here in Alabama, we always will.
Kay Ivey for Alabama. Paid for by Kay Ivey for Governor Inc. P.O. Box 966, Montgomery, Alabama 36101.
Here's a question for you. Why is it that some people aren't as stressed out about the future as you'd think they'd be? Answer: they're probably among the millions of Americans who have prepared themselves with emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply. If the worst ever happens, literally millions of American families are already protected from dealing with empty store shelves. Is yours? If not, go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now and grab some emergency food kits, at least one for each member of your family. These kits give you a wide variety of delicious meals that average over 2,000 calories per day. Everything stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage. Order your kits now by going to MyPatriotSupply.com. Your order will ship fast and arrive discreetly in unmarked boxes. Listen, this is something you need to jump on now, before the next news headline stuns the world. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
This is the Tom Hannity Show. Join me every afternoon at 2 right here on News Radio 1440.
Do you do my friend? The dude. Okay. Come bring me your soul. Okay. I just saw a headline on Fox News that it's got to be the dumbest headline ever written in the newspaper. Okay, it's dumb. I'll tell you about that headline in a couple of minutes. It defies my imagination. I couldn't even come up with this headline if I thought about it for like 5 days. Okay, I'm just saying this is a dumb headline. Okay, first of all, it's untrue. Okay? And I love me some Fox, but not that much. But it's an untrue headline. Okay, it's partially untrue. Okay, it's not totally untrue, but it's partially untrue. And you know what the headline reads? Okay, I'm gonna give it to you right now. It says, wait a minute. It says that let me see. It says that let me make sure I get this right here. Okay. Well, I'll find it again in a minute, and I'll tell you what the headline says. Well, it suggested that there's a milk shortage for mothers and their children. Now, anybody that knows about mothers and milk know that how in the world can there be a shortage when God is giving you a way to make milk as soon as you have your baby? Just let the boy suck on one of those things right there, and he can eat all day and all night. Not a problem. And if you don't want him to, doing the thing, then put the stuff in a bottle. You came with milk. Women came with milk. Come on, man. They don't teach that in biology. Ain't no milk shortage. Y'all just getting lazy. Now Z had breast milk his whole time. Right? Don't save me a whole bunch of money. I'm just saying that was pretty good. Let's go back to phone, see who's there. Good morning. Who's this? I'm doing fine. Yeah, I like Mo Brooks. I don't. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. I think on the 24th there's going to be a lot of surprises that people on this election that people can't even fathom.
And I like that about him these days. And I kind of like this TLJ check because he's brave enough to come on your show. Have Mo been on your show too?
Mo's been on the show, yeah. Well, he's been on the show by phone. He hasn't been up here, but he's been on the phone. Yeah, yes, he is. Katie Britt, yeah. No, I've been reaching out to them, but they go over there to that other station over there where they don't have to answer tough questions, So we take yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, appreciate it. Let me take one more call. I got a guest coming up in a couple minutes here. Good morning, who's this? I think you already called me back. I think you already called me back. Yeah, that was you. That was you. Okay. My mind ain't that bad. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. Have a seat. Hey, I don't care what Ed said. That was Ed. I've been on radio too long not to know voices. Give me a break, Jake. Anyway, I'm a voice connoisseur, as it were. Anyway, I got a guest right now anyway, so good. I'll have to put up some of y'all. So good. We got Mona H. McDermott. and she's an LMSW, whatever that is.
Licensed master social worker.
Okay, then. Obviously, I didn't go to that class, so I didn't know. Listen, your husband. I had your husband last week because I wanted to make people aware of your camp celebration.
Yes, thank you so much.
And he sent you because you're the coordinator.
I'm the director.
Director.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this and where did the concept come from. And
The first camp was held in 2006. I was not working with Baptist Hospice then. I joined Baptist Hospice in 2008. So it's been an annual camp every year except for 2020 and 2021 because of COVID. The premise was children are not little adults, they're children, and children grieve differently than adults do. And when you get children together that have experienced a death in their lives, they realize that there are other kids that have been through something similar, and they're not the only ones. So Baptist Hospice is part of Baptist South, and Baptist, is big in the community, helping to sponsor things. So Baptist Health wanted Baptist Hospice to offer this grief camp. So it's just been ongoing. It's free. It's for ages 5 to 16. Their loved one did not have to be on our service. The death, how they died, doesn't matter. We've gotten all types of deaths: homicides, suicides, accidents. And we do get some, grandmama lived to be old, and she died on our service. So there are a few kids that attend whose loved one was on our service, but the bulk of them, it's not like that. The first time when we really started getting children that had seen such traumatic events, it kind of take your breath away because they have to fill out a form, the parent or guardian does. And one of the questions is, who died and how did they die? And what was the child's reaction to the death? And there have been children that witnessed their father kill their mother and throw them in a garbage dump. They saw it. There was a little boy that killed himself under the age of 12 several years ago. And his little sister that was 8 found him hanging in the closet. So all the siblings came. There have been kids that they went on field trips with their class and there was hit and run and their classmate was killed. So we've had that. We had a family from Evergreen whose loved ones died in a house fire, and the remaining children came to camp that year. So we've had people from Evergreen, Tuscaloosa after the tornado that year, the River Region area. We do not exclude anyone. The requirement is they have to fill out the form and give it to me.
So what you do for Baptists, though, you do and deal with this issue all the time. You're a bereavement counselor, or
I'm over. My official title is bereavement social work and volunteer coordinator. So the social workers we have, there are 2 of them, Elizabeth and Sharon. They're very experienced. They have over 20 years of hospice social work experience. So my supervision of them is very limited because they know what they do and they're great social workers.
I unfortunately you stop at 16, so it puts me a little bit over the thing. But sometimes there are times when even older people
they
have that issue. My sister died 2 years ago, and there isn't a day that goes by that I do not think of her.
Absolutely.
And I've often said, and I tell people, when I do my little unofficial counseling, there are some things in life we have to do for ourselves. Nobody can help you through it. We can guide you, but there are just some things, and dealing with a death is something that we can lend you counsel, we can lend you advice, but there are some roads in this world that you've got to go down by yourself.
You do. I think working in hospice is a ministry. It's not a paycheck, it's not a job, it's a ministry. And if you go as an employee into the hospice agency thinking, well, this is good money or whatever, and you're not called to do it, you won't last. You
Yeah, I
can't.
wouldn't last.
You cannot last. So the ones who work for these different hospice agencies, I would say 99% of them are called to do this.
Mhm.
With Baptist Hospice, we're the only faith-based hospice in this area. We're part of Baptist South. We're Joint Commission accredited. It makes a difference. Every employee that we have, they want to be there. They know it's a ministry. And we become the hands and feet of Jesus when we walk into a patient's home. We don't push Jesus on anyone, but being a hospice employee, you're invited into a home of someone who is dying, or they will die soon. They've been told by the doctor, you have 6 months or less left to live. You only want comfort measures. So if you would like hospice, here it is. So when we enter in, someone has been told, usually they view it as the worst news they can. We have others that are so happy they're going to go see Jesus. So, but usually it's a lot of turmoil. We take care from birth. We just recently had a 105-year-old patient on our service. She died the day after her birthday. So we have all ages. We see all things. Because we are part of Baptist South, we see a lot of traumatic things, and you get, I don't want to say you get used to it, but if you become hardened to it, you know, sometimes when a doctor or a nurse or whoever, whatever the medical professional is, they come to tell you, well, you've got cancer, and it's kind of flippant. You can't be like that. If you become like that in hospice, it's time for you to go. So most of our employees have experienced death in their families. A majority use Baptist Hospice. My sister passed away New Year's Eve of 2020. We brought her to Mickey, my house, and she died on New Year's Eve, but she was there with us. So I have experienced Baptist Hospice and what they do for those that are getting ready to transition to the next life. We're like a family there. Our youngest daughter passed away in 2019, and I've been there since 2008, so staff knew her, and so they rallied around us, loved on us, supported us, and still to this day they do that. We're like a hospice community there.
Okay, so your camp, which is going to be on June the 11th from noon until 3:30 at Riverwalk Stadium, as a matter of fact. Correct. You do that in order, you're going to bring a bunch, so people who have children who've gone through this from ages 5 to 16, this is to help them, I guess, not to become familiar with death, but to try to understand the nuances of it. It is a transition from one place to the other. Right. And you guys are going to be out there to make them, let them have, for a moment, let them be kids.
Exactly. We do a lot of fun things. This is a short camp this year. We weren't even sure we were going to be able to have it because of the COVID and everything, and Baptist is setting an example, but we were given the okay as long as it was outside and under a certain number. So the Biscuits manager met with Baptist people, and they offered us to use Riverwalk Stadium. And they're having a home game that night. So the children that attend, if their parent or guardian will come to the game, they get free tickets. They're doing a fundraiser for the volunteers and for the guardian parents to either get free tickets to, or, you know, a discounted ticket.
Okay.
So
how do they, if they're interested in doing this, how do they reach you?
Okay, we're needing volunteers.
Okay.
And children. The requirement for volunteers is, for both of these, you'll have to contact my office. And the main number for Baptist Hospice is 747-5000. And you can just say, I want to sign up for Camp Celebration. I want to send my child to camp. We'll take your information. Or you can email me. My email is mhmcdermott, that's MCDERMOTT, @baptistfirst.org. But in order for a child to attend this camp, you have to pre-register. because there's only 50 slots available, and we order t-shirts. We give a goodie bag away, so we want to make sure we have the number correct and that we have the sizes correct. As far as volunteers, if you are not a Baptist employee or a Baptist volunteer already, then you fill out a form and you have to do a background check, because we're dealing with children and children that have been traumatized, and we want to make sure that we keep them as safe as possible. And once that comes back clear, then we'll talk and you'll let me know what you need, if you need a little training, whatever it may be. People that, we divide the children up into age groups, and then we do activities. And Marty Bean, that owns Front Porch Grill, is actually providing all the food that day. We may have an NFL player or two that live locally. Still working on that. My husband's law office, they provide us goodies and snacks and things like that. And then we have the backing of Baptist Health and, of course, the Biscuits, Riverwalk Stadium. And it is truly a community project. We see children that have just been so devastated.
Well, I ain't no children, but I've been devastated.
I understand.
I can't. But I can deal with it. I've seen it before, so it's.
Well, everyone grieves differently.
Yeah, differently.
There's no right way, no wrong way. You may cry every day. I may cry once a month, or may not cry at all. There's no wrong way to grieve unless you get into when it's complicated grief. When you start thinking of suicide, where you can't stop crying and you're crying every day, where you're isolated, you don't want to go on, you don't want to work, you don't want to get out of bed. You're going to the cemetery and staying all day long every day, laying beside the grave. So that's when we refer out to different counselors and psychiatry groups to get them help.
Anyway, so it's Camp Celebration on June the 11th from noon until 3:30 at Riverwalk Stadium. And if you want to volunteer, maybe you have something, sometimes kids certainly can understand if you've been through some of the same things that they're going through. And so if you let them know how you dealt with it, or give them some encouragement. Or sometimes kids just need to know that somebody cares.
Absolutely.
Somebody cares.
Absolutely.
So the number that Miss McDermott can be reached at 747-5000, 747-5000. Her name is Mona. You get that right, didn't you? Okay, Mona. Mona
like
McDermott.
The Mona Lisa.
Like the Mona Lisa. Well, listen, we think, and today, this is the first time I ever heard of this.
Really?
So, and I've been on there for 20-something years, something. So I never heard of you guys. And I've been knowing Mickey for a while. You guys never told me this.
Well, that's his fault.
Yeah, that's his fault.
So we'll blame him.
Yeah, we'll blame him on that. Again, Camp Celebration. If you have a child from the ages of 5 to 16 years old that is having a tough time dealing, or even between now and then, something happens to someone, that'll be the perfect time to get involved in this thing right here. If somebody's on hospice, they're still with us.
It does not have to be Baptist hospice.
Right.
We open it up to everyone.
Everybody.
Also, the day of camp, if a parent shows up with their child and they haven't filled out anything, that's happened several times, we have blank forms there for the parent to fill out, then the child can attend. We've never turned away anyone.
Okay. Mona McDermott, you can reach her at 747-5000. Well, thank you, Mona, for coming up and sharing this with us. Hopefully, I won't need you no time soon. Hopefully my son won't need you no time soon. But you never know.
No, you never know.
You never know. It's a complicated world sometimes.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, Camp Celebration, Saturday, June the 11th, 2022, from noon until 3:30. Mona McDermott. Again, that number is 747-5000. That's for people who want to participate or volunteer.
Correct.
Now, you will have to go through a little bit of a check thing here, just to make sure that you're on the up and up.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
It ain't personal.
No, we want to keep the children safe.
That's right.
Because, like you said, complicated world.
Complicated world. We'll be back.
Like a comet,
Yes, ma'am.
blazing
Well, let me know if anybody calls up and.
I will.
Yeah.
We have never had 50 children to attend. We pass it out in schools, DHR, churches, everything. So, but right now we only have 2 children signed up.
Oh, well, I'm gonna, and make sure that let's it don't hurt to call in once a week or every week, whatever, just, cause I know there, with all the shooting and
I know with COVID, we thought we would have a waiting list this year.
Now, let me ask something. Let me introduce you to the people on Rich 103.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beside the CBS, trying to get the ball road. Authorities are on the scene. Ray Thornton Road and Vaughn Road in front of the CBS. Also, an accident's been reported on the East Boulevard in front of the Chevron near Shirley Lane. Keep your eyes open for that one. Good credit, slow credit, doesn't matter. Call the 18 and MCS in Wetumpka for a cash out refinance or equity loan. MCS 567-9000. NMLS 232-876. Buckle up, front and back. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is major delay.
How many miles have you driven past your scheduled auto service checkup? A few hundred or a few thousand? Call Chico's Auto Pros today to schedule a quick service at our Atlanta Highway location.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
So several heated protests have occurred in front of the Supreme Court since Justice Alito's draft opinion was leaked. We still have not found the leaker as far as we know. Peter Doocy brought up Biden's statements earlier this week, calling the MAGA crowd the most extreme political organization in recent history. Do you think the progressive activists that are now planning protests outside some of the justices' houses are extreme? Doocy asked that question to Jen Psaki. Peaceful protest, no. Peaceful protest is not extreme. In front of a Supreme Court justice's home? That's okay with this administration? If any conservative wanted to protest in front of any liberal Supreme Court justice's home or any elected congressman or woman, I'd be against it. Leave their families out of it.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Cards issued by Celtic Bank, member FDIC. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's credit cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 3.3% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/join. Ramp.com/join. ramp.com/join.
Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs is calling all creative minds. The department exists to engage, enlighten, and elevate a diverse, inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons of the arts. If this is you, visit MontgomeryAL.gov and click on the Cultural Affairs page. Register to be part of the Montgomery creative community.
River Region Contracting has the answer. Google River Region Contracting today or visit the website riverregioncontracting.com.
Hey, I'm Jake from Long Island, and my portfolio performance honestly just wasn't cutting it. I was looking for something more. So I researched alternative investments like crypto and NFTs, but they didn't make sense to me. Then I read about Masterworks and Forbes. I did my research and invested over $55,000 with them. I know it was the smart thing to do. I tell all my family and friends about Masterworks. Now I'm telling you.
Before deciding to invest, carefully review the important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclaimer.
Want to kill bugs like the pros do? Now you can with Maggie's Farm. Created by pest control professionals, Maggie's Farm plant and mineral-based products provide amazingly effective insect control. All of our plant-based products are safe to use around children and pets, and won't leave behind a messy, ugly residue.
Are we gone for the day?
Lethal to bugs, easy on the planet.
Well, for the morning.
Get 3 boxes of our patented pitch kill and kill bait stations with purchase at greenbugkiller.com. That's greenbugkiller.com.
Hey, hear me at my new time right here on the same great station. It's all happening every afternoon at 2, right here on News Radio 1440.
A generator.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison ain't the wind that blows from the north and south and east. Whoa, mercy, mercy.
And we're back. Good morning, everybody. I want to get back to one of the first callers. And again, if you guys know somebody who wants to help with these kids, or you know some kids, with all the shootings and all the stuff that goes on in some of our communities, it is not lost on me that some kids will retaliate, whether physically or emotionally, and they may need this kind of environment for a while. When is the last time people who live in a tough neighborhood was able to be a kid? I was getting to the point now you can't even go outside. You hear. All of our kids gonna grow up PTSD. Of course, kids who get PTSD from people shooting in their neighborhood don't get a VA check. They don't get the things that soldiers get, but they are soldiers in their own way, trying to survive. So if you know somebody, some child that's going through these kinds of things, you lost somebody, please call. And that number again is 747-5000, just to register. So it's a day of baseball and a day of just all kinds of things. Older folks, younger folks, people who've been through the same thing they've been through. You might want to, think about allowing them to partake. Let them get out of that environment for a moment. Let them be children. Let them forget all about their troubles, all about our kids today put up with stuff that, I thought I called hell coming up. I did, but not because of violence, just because we were just poor as a scum. But man, just think, if you're poor, you're barely getting along as it is, and all of a sudden, now you got to worry about getting shot in your house. Not outside, not gang banging, but just getting shot in your house. And those things have happened in too many of our communities. And we have scarred some of our children for life. So anyway, but let them go 5 to 16 years old. It's called Camp Celebration, June the 11th, from noon until 3:30 in the afternoon. And please, 747-5000 is the number. As for Mona McDermott, M-O-T-T, McDermott. Okay, so give him a call. 860-1440 is here. Again, I'm talking a little bit about somebody absolutely believe from this morning that we need to have 1,000 people on the Supreme Court, because every group of people in America need to be represented on the Green Court. Well, if you got that many groups, then nobody's getting represented. Okay, so that's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in a long. Okay, not the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time, but you need to call it. You need to give that some more thought. Really, you need to get, because we live under philosophy and under a principle that defies color. True. Listen, I'm with you. I've been black for 65 years as of Monday. I understand that just because the formula is good doesn't mean the people who carry out the formula are good people. They're not. They got the same issues you and I have. They're not perfect people. They do wrong things. I get you. But how do we cannot go back and undo what happened in the past a long time ago. Good morning. Who's this? This is Steve. Well, see, if I let you do it, I got to let other people do it, and then everybody keep doing it, and then I'll be up the creek. I know I'm trying, and I'm trying to stop that, but. Mm-hmm. We do. I think Biscuits Baseball is on 740. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Well, I will. Yeah. Okay, I will. Listen. I'll make that suggestion to the powers that be over there, and see what they say. 860-1440 is the number here. When you give us a call, love to talk to you. Whatever on your mind this morning. It is 8:39 in the morning, which means we got a little while to go left in the show. So, hey, surprise me with something I've never heard this morning. And and don't forget about the. I'll tell you about the Bucksters, the Buskers, and the state city of Montgomery a couple of weeks ago passed an ordinance where you could actually make money downtown by singing, by playing a horn or playing a piano. I don't know if you want to bring your piano every day, but if you got one of those what are they called, keyboard things, and little, I guess you got to have a little generator or something, or a bunch of batteries, or however those things work. I mean, you can do all kinds of things downtown, I guess. Now, that's not panhandling. That's earning a living. I can live with that. I'll support them. Sing, but be able to sing. I mean, don't just come down and just making noise. Give me something that I can feed myself on here. I mean, give me something that I want to sit down there next to you and reminisce about the old days. Okay. I'm just saying. But I love the fact that we can do that now, and the license will cost you $7 a day or $25 a year. Why wouldn't you pay $25 a year? With the way prices going up, we all might be out there singing pretty soon. So anyway, so let's do that. I think what a great thing to do. I think that's a great idea. So singing me, I need 4 guys together. We're gonna get together, come up with an a cappella group, and we're gonna sing out there on the weekend. Right? Sing on the weekends. Okay, that way we can make a couple dollars when the tourists come in town. But you got to be able to sing now. I will be having auditions soon, so you can know whether or not you made it. Okay, I'm just telling you, we're gonna become Bucksters. Okay, we're gonna be downtown. I got sunshine. Oh yeah, I got it. I still got it. Good morning. All righty then. Good morning. Who's this? Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Kevin, you gonna sign my petition?
Petition for what?
I'm sending a letter. For them to add castration if they make it where it's illegal to have abortion for incest or rape. I'm sending a letter.
Oh, see, I would go. Wait. I would go with. Although, and I'm with you, but let me ask something though. Here's something. A woman can say she was raped and never been touched by you.
That's why they got medical stuff that determines.
No, they can tell that you had sex with that person, but they can't tell if you raped them. So, well, sometimes. What about the one time they said you did and you didn't, and now you ain't got your partner no more? I'm just thinking. Yeah, exactly, and some of them didn't. So unless And now we got a video of them doing it, I'm with you. Okay, if we got a video of somebody doing something like that, I'm with you. But the problem I got is that there are too many people in prison right now for things they did not do. Yeah. 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 And again, but is there 100% proof that shows absolutely because once you cut off a brother's package, he can't get it back. But and some and you okay? How many cases? Right. But how many cases have been? How many times have people sat? How many times have people sat on death row for 20 years or more, and then we find out at the last moment they didn't do it? No, it's more than that. It's more than 1 in a million. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't know. Now, how about medical? How about medical to make sure your soldier never rises again, but it can be reversed if they find out you didn't do it? I'm all for that. Give him a shot. He got to show up for a shot. Until we can prove that he can't, his bad boy won't be saluting. Again, but the only way to prove that absolutely. Hey, vasectomy, again, if we got a film showing it happening, I'm with you. But I don't know if somebody just makes an allegation. Look at the Scottsboro boys. The Scottsboro boys took them 70 years to be vindicated of something that they did not do. So, because it ain't her body. And that's true. Again, that's what I'm saying. So make it where the brothers soldiers won't rise again, but can be reversed. Because what if, in fact, he did? I've seen cases where other men did it and they put it on somebody else. Exactly. Well, I'm with you, but again, if I got a film of you doing it, and I know it's you, it's obviously you, then we can have that conversation. But because of somebody's allegation, what about the lacrosse boys who in New York that sharked and Tawana Broderick, whatever her name was? I mean, yeah. How about medical castration? Because brother still got to go to the bathroom. How about just make sure just only thing he can use that thing for is going to the bathroom. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But a woman does have right. But a woman does have a choice outside of being raped. All they gotta do, the words 2 letters, no. All right. I appreciate it. I gotta run. I'm running out of time. I gotta go to a break right quick. Good morning. Who's this? I know. Yeah. The government don't panhandle me. The government steals from me. Yeah. Right. Saying a little bit. Yeah. 20, wait a minute, wait a minute. If a brother can't figure out how to come up with $7 or $25 for the whole year, yeah, what's the point? Right, because they ain't earning it. They're not earning it. Let them sing for it. Let them sing for it. Wait a minute, $25 a year, my brother? 20. Well, he can sing, and now he can sing for it. But you wasn't paying. I'm going 300. Wait a minute, 365 days divided by 25. I think it runs about 50. It looks like about. Okay. All I'm saying is, if you out there singing for your meal, at least you're earning your meal. Okay, I'm all for the buster, not for the panhandler. Work. I don't care how you work, just work. We'll be back.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use code radio at checkout.
Let me see if my thing is right here. Okay.
Ahead, temperatures
Clear.
are going to be in the 80s each
Hey, Google.
afternoon. There's going to be plenty of sunshine each day.
If
Overnight
I-
lows are going to be comfortable in the 50s to the 60s. The humidity stays low. A really nice week ahead. We'll start in the low 80s today, and then we'll go into the mid 80s tomorrow, upper 80s for Wednesday and Thursday, mid 80s again by Friday, and then no chance of rain all week long. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got some new accidents. 700 block of Julia Street. That's going to be at South Lawrence. So South Lawrence and Julia, accident with injury. Ray Thorington at Vaughn Road in front of the CVS. And Perry Hill at Beth Manor. Look for an accident there. New Toyotas are arriving daily at Reinhardt Toyota on the East Boulevard. You can also see their entire inventory and shop online at ReinhardtToyota.com. Buckle up, it's the law for Montgomery Skywatch traffic. This is a major delay.
How many miles have you driven past your scheduled auto service checkup? A few hundred or a few thousand? Call Chico's Auto Pros today to schedule a quick service at our Atlanta Highway location.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within
Google.
the first day. Try ZipRecruiter
Come on.
for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it.
Hey, Google.
Everybody, check your blind spots real
Hey,
quick.
Google. See, that's why I don't like this
Now,
crap.
hands on the wheel. Put them 10 and 2 and move your head like a bird do.
Hey, Google.
Only pay for what you need at Liberty Mutual.
Hey, Google. Okay, so what
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile
If you
dysfunction,
take-
low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and other providers at
Clear.
Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to
Attention today.
95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy.
7 cents a day, brother. Can't beat that. 7 cents a day. If you can't make 7 cents a day, you need to get a job.
At 334.
You need to get a job. Job.
3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Declare your freedom and start your journey. Jeep Freedom Days are here at Taliesin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Your journey will be better in the all-new Grand Wagoneer. Yours is here now. Get more done with the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn with 60 months. And right now, your trade-in is worth more than ever. TaliesinAutomotive.com, where you drive a little, save a lot. With approved credit, plus financed through Chrysler Capital. Dealer retains all factory incentives. See dealer for details.
The City of Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs is calling all creative minds. The department exists to engage, enlighten, and elevate a diverse, inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons of the arts. If this is you, visit montgomeryal.gov and click on the Cultural Affairs page to register to be part of Montgomery's creative community.
When it's time to get a new vehicle, Larry Puckett Chevrolet is the best place to find your new Chevy or a great used car. New cars, SUVs, and trucks are being delivered daily, and Larry Puckett has their largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in over a year. Check them out online at larrypuckett.com or visit them on Cobb's Ford Road in Prattville. And if you have an extra vehicle, bring it in for an instant cash offer. Whether you're selling or trading, your vehicle will never be worth more. Larry Puckett Chevrolet, where the customers do the talking.
Now I've got sunshine.
Politician Mike Durant says he's conservative, but have you looked to see who's behind him? Never Trumpers, the same people who backed Hillary and Biden. Now they're here in our backyard, trying to trick us into backing their man, Mike Durant. These Never Trumpers recruited Mike Durant, asked him to be their man in Washington. Mike Durant's ads, they're funded by wealthy California donors, Never Trumpers. So why are these Never Trumpers backing politician Mike Durant? Because when Mike Durant talks about gun rights, he sounds like
From a military perspective, the first thing that needs to be done is to disarm the population. I mean, let's face it, if we could do that in some of our U.S. cities, that would be a pretty good step toward law and order.
disarm the population, have the government go door to door and take our guns. No wonder the Never Trumpers are behind Mike Durant. Once you see where he stands, you can't support Mike Durant. Alabama Rhino PAC is responsible for advertising, paid for by the Alabama Rhino PAC and unauthorized by the Candidate Accountants Committee. AlabamaRhino.com.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial. The Ben Shapiro Show, Monday night at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Okay, I got a couple. Okay, I did the math here. 7 cents a day. If you're a buster for 7 cents a day, if you pay the $25 at one time, 7 cents a day, you can be out there making money. 7 cents. You can find 7 cents sitting around, just walking down the street. I'm just saying. Now, but however, if you want to go $7 a day, then that bill's going to cost you about $2,555. So, hey, this is a no-brainer. No-brainer. Get your $25 for a year and just sit out there and sing to people. And if you can't sing, get a guitar. At least you can't say you're panhandling and put your cup out there and with a guitar, even though you can't play. If you make enough noise, we'll pay you to go away. Okay. I'm just saying, you know, so okay, now it's time to be an entrepreneur. Okay, now it's time. Now it's time to be an entrepreneur with the new law that's going into effect in Montgomery, the new law. Okay, 7 cents a day or $25 a year. Excuse me, $7 a day or $25 a year for a license, and all you need is a guitar. Okay, and you can sit down there and you can just play to your heart's content. And if it's really bad, I'm gonna throw $1 in there to tell you, listen, don't play no more. Okay, and then what you do is you put a sign up that says, hey, for $1 I'll play, but for $5 I won't play nothing. Okay, I'm just saying, see how much money you make. And if some of y'all play as bad as I've heard some other people play, yeah, I throw the $5 in there. I'm just saying. So anyway, I think it's a good idea. So I want to congratulate City Council, which I don't normally do too often, on the Buckster thing there. Okay. Anyway, hey man, I gotta go. Who's this? Yeah, that's him. Yeah, I don't want to hear that more. That ain't him no more. All right. Well, my time's up. I gotta go. But I just thought it's a good plan to to do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So if y'all see me downtown with my guitar, I've never played a guitar in my life, but I'm gonna be around the Black Lives Matter thing there, and yeah, we can't call that panhandling. I'm gonna be a buckster. Okay, see ya.
WSFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Monday. A controversial law is now in effect in Alabama.
And I'm glad it's in effect.
Compassion and Protection Act, and it criminalizes the
Turn your boys into girls with a drug. Give me a break. No, we ain't going for that. Turn your girls into boys and your boys into girls. Boy, Jay.
Alabama Corrections Officer Vicky White and inmate Casey White. Their getaway car was discovered recently in Tennessee and will soon be back in Florence as the investigation continues. The sheriff in Lauderdale County says they believe Vicky and Casey White dumped the car and